Anyway, we're in the court now, and did you just notice he's got these 2 marks on his head? I don't know what they are. Green screening, maybe? Anyway, same day, same clip, and for me, I am attuned now to know what I'm looking for, okay? But I'm going to break this down to show you. Now, I can see it. There is something wrong with the right side of his face. The right side of his face is much more in focus than the left side of his face. The right eye on his face doesn't match the left eye on his face. Did you see that? So, and also there's this layer which goes down his face. Now, like I said, you need to remember those games, you know, on your Xbox and that, the virtual reality ones. Now, I think what it is by doing that bit, it makes it kind of look 3D, but it's not. Just put your hand up over that bit. It's how they make this hologrammy 3D thing, okay? So, it's just how they do it, but just look at the right side of his face. His eye is not, they're not the same eyes. They're not actually working together. The one on the right is different colour, different size, and then there's that layer which goes down. I'm going to show you even more. I've captured it. All I've done is slowed the footage down, okay, and zoomed in on him. Again, as before, the footage was all blurry. Now we kind of get a much more in focus Patrick Frazee. But do you see the line? Do you see it? Look at his right eye. Look at his left eye. Look at the right eyebrow. Well, the other way around. It's ours. I'm talking about ours. Just look at our view to him. And in a sense, look at his cheek and his nose. It's all becoming almost perfect, like he's about 18 years of age. When really, they've left him with that frown on the top of his head. He basically sits there for 25 minutes, almost with a frown, and doesn't say anything. His face doesn't move. He's just sitting there with a frown. Go on, make a frown and sit there for 25 minutes with a great big frown on your head. It's almost impossible. So that's a little masked layer put on top of his head just to make it look more dramatic for us. And also, that kind of almost doesn't look like him sitting there somehow. Again, they're not expecting you to see it. And also I'm going to show you his hair as well. That is also not right. Anyway, if you actually just look now at that other eye, our left eye, and then watch this neck, watch his neck as he's moving. Look, 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 please, this is all not real. Did you see that? Does your neck do that? Because my neck doesn't do that. And then there's that layer. So now once you wake up and see it, you'll see that the right eye doesn't belong to the left eye. Do you see the layer? Do you see it now going down there? Do you see this is cartoon now? I mean, his eyebrow doesn't match. Can you see? Oh, and that neck, the extendable neck, wow. Do you see it now? Do you see that layer? Like I say, I suggest that you watch this on a full screen, because a lot of people on mobiles just don't see it. Did you see that? His eyes did not go together. And then when you take his hair away, he looks like someone completely different. You can just see that, I'm sorry. Look at the, now look at the other eye, the one, this eye here, look. Oh, now he's sort of changed again, and now he doesn't really look like him. Someone else there as well. It's amazing, isn't it, when you take the hair away, that he looks different. I think when I see this, like Action Man, cartoon Action Man, but it's the virtual games. This is a virtual thing being done to us. It's how can that news station put out how bad this is for democracy? All these impeachments are happening in America for this kind of stuff, yet it's still going on today for us, still. See how different this is to this. See, it is a cartoon. It's not even, I mean, some people are going to say, oh, it's pixelation. But how come his eye, quite often, this one, looks more like a drawing? And something also goes weird with his the other eye as well. There, look at this. What is this going on here? Look. Just look. Stop it. Put a ruler down. See, now he's got like a kink in his nose. But you can see that side of his face. At some points, this side of his face is much more in focus than this side. And then when you just slow it down, it now doesn't look like him at all, does it? This is being done to us today. This is what's happened in the Chris Watts case. They're feeding us lies, making it look like everybody wants to kill each other when they don't. This is just disgusting, isn't it, that they're doing this to us? Even if people think that's pixelation, what about his growing neck? Do you see it? I hope you see it. It's just a computer. Here's a computer image. And really, you can see he keeps changing. Oh, and now he's like young looking there. Now he's someone else again. And some really weird things happen. Do you see? He's forever changing. I mean, no wonder people think reptilian. This is why people think reptilian. You can see this morphing and shifting, but it's just technology used in filming against us, just to make something that isn't real. This takes your freedom away. This takes your freedom away, because many people watching the television will believe this is real. This is part 3. I'm not sure. I can't remember how many parts I've got now. 3, 4. Can't remember now. Maybe it's 3. But I could go on. I'm just so disappointed. I was not expecting to see all this. I really wasn't. I spent 7 months so upset about the Chris Watts and Shanann Watts case. Really, I did. And all I see is lies now. All I see is people. This is against the people. It's feeding you with wrong information. It's feeding you with information that's not real. It's making you believe all this stuff that's not real. Just hope people wake up and don't leave me horrible, nasty messages, because this is not my fault. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means to these cases. But I keep finding all this stuff which doesn't add up. With Chris Watts, it was First of all, it was giving out everybody's names and addresses. I just thought that that was the most bizarre thing. That I'd never seen a case where everybody's names and addresses. Then we all get into the drive because somebody said there was a girlfriend on the drive, but there wasn't. It was just these gay, you know, it's just them manipulating it and fixing it. Oh, look at that. Did you see that? Oh, dearie me, look. Now it's the other side of his face that's doing it. Then what it was is after all that, so I broke it down in 16 parts, and I think I've probably made 1 or 2 or included it in other stuff. We realised that he was only on the drive for 10 minutes, but I mean, look at his eyes there. Look at his eye. But how could Chris Watts be there? That looks like someone else, doesn't it? How could it go from dark to nearly dawn with the sun up when he was only there for 10 minutes? So you can't trust that footage isn't right. And it just goes on to all the videos I've been making in the last couple of weeks. Wasn't expecting to see this. Wasn't expecting to find it. But once you do, once you see it, you can't pretend anymore that this is real. To do this to the people. You know, it just seems that our whole lives are not real. Look at his ear. Oh my goodness, now he looks like he's on Star Trek. Mr. Spock. People's ears don't change like that. There's that mask. You see that mask? And also, once you realise it's a cartoon, then you realise those people aren't actually talking to each other. They're not really there. And half the time that solicitor's head morphs into his, and it just wouldn't happen. His nose disappears. And also I noticed his hair. It's forever changing, but you can see the layers. But you'll see. Oh, look at that. Look at the hair. Look up here at the hair. That's because this has been put on top of another person. That person's got grey hair. Look, do you see it? Patrick Frazee does not have grey hair. That is not light. Do you see that? Look, look. Oh my goodness gracious me. His glasses reach right out to there, do they? Now Patrick Frazee's got this sort of grey hair. Do you see it? Tufts coming out the top of his head. So it's not just a shadow. Ooh. Oh! Spock ears. Well, actually, his ears have gone black. Like he's got gangrene or something. Okay, pixelation, but then how come it's not doing on other parts of his body or the solicitor? Only his ear. And this hair thing going on up here, which is a layer. This is a layer on top of that. Do you see it? 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 Oh please, everybody who's kept up or got this far in the video, do you see it? Then you realise that he is not standing in front of him. I mean, they're just, oh. And then look at his eye. Did you see that? No wonder everybody thinks reptilian. Just look at that. Just look at it. On a mobile phone, you're not going to see it. You always have to slow the footage down to see it. But it's crazy when you slow it down, isn't it? Oh, look, it looks like Superman now. See, sort of morphing. Look at it. That's just not right. That's just not right. Sorry, everybody can see that. That's just not right. Solicitor's nose has disappeared as well. Patrick Frazee would be sort of on top of him, wouldn't he? Like their faces would be touching at that rate. There, do you see it there? Hopefully you can see it. The solicitor isn't doing that strange silvery grey thing, is he? There's no shadow like that on him, is there? Only Patrick Frazee. Because it's not real. You know, when we were looking just a minute ago, all that shadow thing was going on the other side of his face. Now it's going on this side of his face. Oh look, his Spock ears again. Bit weird that. This is because all these people are superimposed on there. Just looks quite a mess, doesn't it? Yeah, he's still got that problem on the top of his head. Can't do top of the heads. Fingers, ears, noses and mouths are a problem as well, and the necks. Anyway, we all know you can't have an extendable neck. Just go and watch that part of the video again. So just lie upon lie upon lie to the people. It takes your freedom away because we get hooked into things like this. We believe they're real, believe everybody's doing this kind of thing to each other. It's all to keep us in a state of anxiety, that's what it is. Anxiety. So we don't know who we are, who to trust, where to go. We don't want to help each other anymore. I mean, I've only looked at 2 cases, and after the Chris Watts one, I wasn't really sure I really wanted to look at another one for the months and hours I spent looking at it. But it became apparent, just this first footage. I just randomly picked one and looked at it, and all I can see is the whole thing is a virtual reality cartoon which isn't quite virtual enough because they haven't quite managed to master the 2D to 3D. You know, although you're watching on a screen in 2D, we're 3D on a 2D. This is 2D with a manipulation that makes it look 3D, but they're 2D on a 2D. And that's why many of us can see it. I mean, look at this. This is the state. I mean, anyway, I hope everybody can see it, and thanks for watching. What do you think?